Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Bout number 3.
And this is going to be an absolute cracker. Joel Bourke, the professor, the legend from New South Wales, who's been in with the very best in Australia. He takes on one of the future stars of our
Fighting out of the red corner, Joel Bourke.
You big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing I'm excited about this fight.
This is going to potentially be one of the better fights of the night. It's a real hard matchup. Joel Bourke, a rugged, tough guy who's been in there with the very best from Wollongong.
Jay Carr's last fight against Jeremy Allen, who was an experienced fighter, and Jay Carr really went well against him. Polished, really good.
I know Jeremy Allen very, very well. I've refereed him a number of times. I've worked with him as a referee in Thai boxing as well. And for all of those people over there in Perth, Western Australia, if you're watching, hello to you, and great to have your company. But this man, Joel Bourke, the professor, he's fought Danny Green, he's fought Mark Bagheero, he's fought them all. Victor Oganov, Yoshinori Nishizawa in Japan, Saki Obika, Les Sherrington, and of course one of the hottest properties around, Rowan Murdoch.
And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, Carr.
And here he comes with Barry Michael in his corner and the team, Rod Carr, Steve and the boys from the North Melbourne boxing gym.
And they're all excited about this, kid. They really are.
Absolutely.
The following contest will be fought 6 by 3-minute rounds, boxing rules, in the super middleweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest, Mr. Tony Marretta. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with black writing. Official weight 75.5 kilograms. He's had 40 fights with 20 wins, representing Wollongong in New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, the Professor, Joel Bourke. Out of the blue corner, trained at the North Melbourne boxing gym, wearing white trunks with a white trim. Official weight 76.1 kilograms. A perfect fight record, 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 coming by knockout. Representing Newport, Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen, Carr.
And there we have it. We're ready for action here in a scheduled 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. That's Jay Carr in the black trunks with the white band and piping, and the professor, Joel Bourke, all the way from down in Wollongong in the white shorts with the black band and piping.
Joel Bourke doing the famous Wollongong stare.
Oh, he does. No, there's nothing left to the desire, the imagination with Joel Bourke. That's Jay Carr on your left of the screen. In the black shorts with the white band and piping, the black gloves, Professor. Amazing.
Beautiful jab from Jay Carr. Look at that.
15 wins, 7 knockouts, an amazing 223 rounds. Oh, beautiful body shot by Jay Carr. He's crisp, he's fast, he's accurate. But we've got a long way to go yet. 6 3-minute. Oh, he's put down
with a straight jab.
Straight left hand, and Joel Bourke doesn't know what happened. He was a little off balance, but what a beautiful... If you ever want to watch a left hand, just look at this left hand from Jay Carr. Absolute magnificent.
He's got great hand speed, and that's where it's all coming from.
Oh, well, that's where your power comes from, Julian, as you know. Beautiful left hand by Jay Carr. There it is again. Beautiful left lead.
It's good that he's taking his time. He's already, he's dropped him with that jab, but he's just taking time. He's going to set it up again.
Setting himself up, working his way around, misses with the right. clubbing left hook, or the pair bump heads there. It was Well, they both come in. There's no malice in that, but you can't have your head above your feet. Otherwise, it can be construed as a foul. And, of course, Joel Bourke. Jake Carr's not going to have to go and find Joel Bourke, Julian. He's been around. He's fought the very best of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
good body shot.
Right hand to the body.
He throws his shots, then steps away. It's beautiful. Nice jab.
Very crisp punching. A little bit different from his Stad style, you know. Rod was one of the hardest men in the sport of professional boxing, and if you fought him, you won. You believe me, you knew you won.
And had the mohawk.
He certainly did. Clubbing left hook by Joel Bourke as he as a pair.
Matter of fact, young Jake Carr was a really good footballer as well. Could have gone a long way.
I believe he's a great sportsman. All sorts of in almost as most of our boys are. Oh, Joel Bourke lines up the big right hand. It's right above our commentary position, and the pair, the heads come together.
Nice jab.
Another nice left hand by Jake Carr. Had Joel Bourke down with a straight left hand, something you don't see too regularly.
I think it was probably he was probably a little bit cold as well and just got hit, you know,
absolutely
stunned with it.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Joel trying to get in close as Jake just ties him up against the ropes in the blue corner. Moves back around to centre ring now. And we're inside 10 seconds of this very first round as Joel Bourke comes flying with a left-right. Another short right hand by Carr that just missed the mark. And there we go. That's the first of round number 6. And the pair don't want to... there's a little bit of feeling in this fight.
Not giving him anything. Yeah, impressive first round for Jake Carr. He's done everything he's had to do. Worked off his left hand. Setting the fight up.
Great first round by Jake Carr. You know, a relative young guy, just 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 by way of knockout. Compared to, you know, on paper you'd say this looks like it's a mismatch. 40 professional fights, 15 wins, 23 losses for Joel Bourke, but don't be fooled by that 23 losses. He's fought Mark Peguero 3 times, including for the Australian title. He's fought Danny Green, the Green Machine, back in August 2002. Victor Oganov, one of the hardest punching guys you'd ever want to see. Yoshinori Nishizawa in Japan in 2003. Saki Obika, the legendary, the Scorpion, who's now fighting out of America. Les Sherrington as we come out for the second round. And of course, Porky Lovett.
Melbourne's own. Cranbourne's own.
Another hard left hand by Jake Carr. Clubbing right hand to the side of the rib cage of Joel Bourke. And referee Tony Marretta warns Joel Bourke, keep your head up, and warns Jake Carr, don't hit him in the kidneys. 2 nice, crisp left hands by Jake Carr. Joel Bourke commanding centre ring here at ringside and here today.
As the older fighter, that's what you want to do, isn't it?
The young guy should show him some respect, shouldn't he, Julian Holland? When you look at the career rounds of Jake Carr, just 9 career rounds in 3 fights, compared to 223 career rounds of Joel Bourke.
And I'll tell you what, he looks a polished fighter for that amount of fights.
Oh, he does. He's well ahead of his time, having his 4th professional fight here tonight. And he's a very polished young guy. He's a guy with a future. Of course, Joel Bourke has got a great past, but Jake Carr certainly has a future.
And he's tick-tock and he's moving his head, he's making that target, and that's what it's good to see.
He looks
young
like he's a
guys
little bit of
that.
He looks like he's a little bit of a thinker there, Julian. He's threw the right hand to the rib cage and then followed up by the right hand up to the head. He's started to mix it up a little bit. Another nice left hand, keeping the professor off balance, not letting him set, because he's not going to have to go and find Joel Bourke. Joel has been one of the promoters' friend. He'll fight anybody at any one time as Bourke goes with a good straight left and straight right. One of the stalwarts of Australian boxing, Joel Bourke.
And boxing needs guys like Joel.
Oh, we do, absolutely. Where would we have been without guys like this? That's Joel Bourke in the white shorts with the black band and piping and the red gloves. And Jake Carr, one of the superstars of... well, he's not really a superstar yet, but we know he's heading that way. Very accomplished young fighter, lefts and rights by Carr, just taking the action off Joel Bourke. Steps off the front foot. Great to see. A good thinker. Clubbing right hand to the rib cage by Joel Bourke. And nice body shots by Jay Carr's referee, Tony Marretta, breaks.
See, he just set that up, Brad. He just tick-tock, and then left for a rib.
And, of course, his hand speed is you can see the difference in the hand speed, can't you? Just misses with the left uppercut. Bourke goes with a right hand, a left hook. Carr counter punches with his own right hand and another right hand and misses with the left hook.
Starting to heat up now.
He looks like he's, you know, Joel Bourke has fought at anything from middleweight, super middleweight, up to light heavyweight. Jay Carr is a very, very well-proportioned young guy, very well-built young guy. As we come inside 10 seconds, it's another good round for Jay Carr. But I'd say that he looks like he's a good super middleweight at this stage, but I'd say he'll end his career probably as a little bit of feeling at the end of that round. He looks like I'd say he'd be a light heavyweight, 79.38 kilos, and that's where I think he'll be for the moment.
That's what his father was, wasn't it?
His father was a light heavyweight. Who can ever remember the IBO World Light Heavyweight title? Ricky Thornberry and Rod Carr. What an absolute war it was. Hope you're enjoying this afternoon's live stream of this boxing extravaganza here from the Melbourne Convention and Events Centre, just on the banks of the Yarra River here next to the beautiful Crown Casino. Mick Gatto proudly brought to you with Brian Armatruda and Barry Michael as they put together a boxing extravaganza. An amazing event, amazing support by the corporate side of things. 127 corporate tables have been sold. We've got visitors from New Zealand, we've got visitors from Queensland, Western Australia. Joel Bourke comes out, he goes straight at Jay Carr with a left and right. Our third fight for the evening. That's Jay Carr in the black trunks and Joel Bourke in the white. Joel Bourke goes with left and right, and his mouth guard comes out as a referee's going to call a halt to the action. And the mouth guard of Jay Carr comes out as referee Tony Marretta sends Joel Bourke to the neutral corner. On my unofficial scorecard, Julian Holland, I have Jay Carr up 20-17 by way of knockdown in the first round. 10-8 round the first, 10-9 in the second. Close round, but a good round for young Jay Carr. And this, let me tell you, this is going to be a real good learning experience for Jay Carr. Right. He needs to get some rounds, and the professor is just the guy to give it to him.
And that's a testament to the matching team.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
To grade the boys proper.
And Barry Michael said in a pre-fight interview, they really want to test Jay Carr. They want to see where he is in the bigger scheme of things. Oh, there's no love lost between these two.
Just buried his head and just kept throwing.
It could be on for young and old here. Jay Carr goes with another nice left hand, just misses the mark with a straight and a right hand by Joel Bourke. It's getting a little bit untidy in there. There's a little bit of an arm wrestle. In the corner, Steve Stenborg, Barry Michael and Rod Carr in the blue corner. And the words come out, make him miss and make him pay.
Famous words.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit harder to do than what it said, but I think the idea is there. And there's a double left hook and a right hand, followed by another crunching right hand by young Jay Carr. Just 22 years of age, Jay Carr.
And he's got quite a good reach, so he's actually fighting Joel Bourke as much as he can at length.
Absolutely. He's trying to fight Joel Bourke at range. I mean, I think if Joel gets in close, he's going to make it a little bit tougher for Jay. Oh, there's a clubbing right hand over inside, countering right hand.
No worries.
Right on the button, right above our commentary position here. And a little bit of a mouse now under the right eye of Joel Bourke. 37 years of age, Joel Bourke. The professor. He's certainly done his apprenticeship. And he's just one fighter that can certainly be proud of his record. He's an icon to the sport of professional boxing, is Joel Bourke. Yep, left hook and a beautiful right hand to the body by Jay Carr. Crisp punching by Carr. Accurate punching. Clubbing punches to the rib cage as referee Tony Marretta comes in and breaks him up. Getting some really good rounds here, Jay Carr. Just 9 rounds in a 3-fight professional career. He needs to get some rounds under his belt if he's going to go further and fight some of the guys.
Nice right hand, left body shot.
And what a great test as he starts to slow the body up of
the neck under the right eye.
Absolutely. I think we're going to need a little bit more of a nick under the eye to slow Joel Bourke down. Yeah. Try a Melbourne tram. I don't think that'd slow Joel Bourke. That was a better round again for Jay Carr.
He's starting to wind it up a little bit and starting to step up the tempo, isn't he?
Oh,
what I like is that his angles, he's fine with angles, he's tick-tocking, making him miss, as Rod Carr says in the corner, make him miss, make him pay, and that's what he's doing.
Absolutely, and look, you know, when you consider the difficulties this young guy's going under, he's fighting a guy who's been in there with Australia's best, and, you know, he's lost too many of them, but he's also beaten a few of them, but he's certainly been in there with the very best. It's a real test for young Jay Carr. Will he come through this? I think he can, and I think he'll come out the other end a much better fighter, a much more experienced fighter than what he is. And of course the weights this afternoon, 76.15 for Jay Carr and 75.5 for Joel Bourke. We're fighting at the super middleweight limit.
I feel it is so important when you're building these young guns up that they get the right fights. So you just don't get them blokes that they can knock out.
With Julian Holland, the former Commonwealth and Australian welterweight champion, of course, a guy who never sidestepped anybody, Julian. You were one of the guys, you fought everybody. And, of course, we've seen that mistake happen so many times in recent times, haven't we, where the fighters build a good record up by fighting sort of really nobodies. And then the first time as the fighters come out for round number 4, the first time they fight somebody that has got a little bit of ticker and who won't fall over, they're all at sea. So
but usually it's not the fighters' fault. It's usually it's who the managers put them in front of.
Absolutely. I don't think we're going to see that with the Armatruda Michael Gatto connection, and I think we'll see genuine fights that are genuine test of fights that are 50-50 fights, as we've seen today. And of course, earlier in our
nice combination.
Oh, great right hand, and Rod.
I think he's hurt Joel.
He has hurt Joel. Joel fights back with a clubbing right hand, right above our commentary position here at the Melbourne Convention and Events Centre. And referee Tony Marretta warns the Professor to stop holding. But I can damn tell you, Tony Marretta, it's very, very hard when you cop a body blow like that. You want to hold. You're not going to let him give it back to you again. There's a clubbing right hand by Jay Carr again. Crisp, beautiful hands by Jay Carr. Another left hand. Joel Bourke trying to get inside. Trying to fight from the outside, Jay Carr, doing it very, very well here this afternoon. Nice little uppercut. You're looking at Jay Carr in the black trunks with the white band and piping, and the Professor, Joel Bourke from Wollongong, in the white shorts with the black band and piping and the red boxing gloves. We've got a very good contest here. It's an enthralling contest. Another nice left hand, another beautiful, crisp, beautiful left hand. And for those of you who are watching, you can see this. If you want to learn how to throw a right hand, just watch the young guy in our screen now, Jay Carr. There it is again, a beautiful left hand. Another left hand by Jay Carr as the Professor comes in with a clubbing right hand to the rib cage and a clubbing left hand on the way out by Jay Carr. He's got it all, this young guy, Julian Holland.
Yeah, definitely. He's throwing his beautiful combinations. Joel Bourke just come in through one shot. And
left and right by it. Another left hook.
He's going to need more punches than that.
37-year-old Joel Bourke, the Professor from Wollongong in New South Wales, has never denied anybody. You say you want to fight, and boy, will he fight you. He has fought them all, and what a test for the young 3-fight novice, Jay Carr, but he's not fighting like a novice here this afternoon, I can tell you. Clubbing left hand and right hand to the body by Jay Carr as he ties Joel Bourke up as he hits him with a left and right hand as the referee calls break. There's a little bit of feeling in this fight, Julian Holland. They're not giving an inch, these two guys.
I think Joel Bourke, he'll just bring it, won't he, you know? And that's what's great.
But let me tell you one thing. Knowing Jay Carr, knowing Rod Carr, and knowing the Professor as I do, I can guarantee you, at the end of this, I'll see them out at the bar having a beer together.
Yeah, well, that's boxing.
I'll leave it all in the boxing ring, and what a good round again. Another good round for young Jay Carr. I hope you're enjoying our live stream wherever you may be watching in the world this afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Melbourne. The time at the moment is about 3:30 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. We're in Victoria.
Brad, I think these two guys, Jay Carr and Campbell, they're the next two boys on the rise.
Oh, clearly, I think, you know, they're the face of not only Victorian boxing, but certainly they're the face of Australian boxing. You know, we go in waves. You know, I can remember back we had, of course, Lionel Rose in the late 60s. He won the World Bantamweight Championship from fighting Marretta, February 27, 1968. We had the great Johnny Famish Bobby Dunlop, and then we went back in Hector Thompson. Of course, we came into the 80s. We had Jeff Fennick and, of course, the great Barry Michael, Lester Ellis. And we come in waves, and of course, you know, the Anthony Mundines and the Danny Greens, they can't fight forever, and you know the tide is going to turn. We've got Daniel Gill, we've got Sam Solomon, you know, and these are the new face of Australian boxing.
Exactly.
You're watching a super middleweight bout scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds, and that's the Professor chasing after the Professor Joel Bourke in the white trunks with the black band and piping, and the red boxing gloves, the red Everlast gloves, and. One of the young stars of Victorian and Australian boxing, Jake Carr, in the black gloves, the black Everlast gloves, and gee, they're a nice glove too. Very well balanced boxer, JK. Needs to just take his time a little bit. I think he's just trying to, you know, he's trying to sort of land too many hard shots. Yeah. I think he just needs to let those shots flow. He just let the punches flow. And I mean, if a knockdown's going to come, it's going to happen just like it did in that first round, Julian Holland.
Yeah. Well, that's when you knock them down, is when you're not trying.
I hope you'll excuse my voice. Wherever you are, I've got the flu. It's coming from beautiful Queensland down. Oh, there's a beautiful left rip. That certainly caught the attention of the Professor Joel Bourke.
That's just coming off the good angles that Jake Carr's given him.
And he's creating angles.
He's creating angles, yeah. and he's slipping out each side of him. But what you like to see in a young kid like this, the distance he can give himself. See,
absolutely. Joel Bourke fights back, but he walks into a left-right by Jake Carr. Jake gives him the old don't argue as he no way out as well.
And Jake blocked every shot of one of those shots.
Clubbing right hand by Jake Carr. This is a real arm wrestle. This is a very enthralling little contest. You know, we've got a definitive winner of each of the rounds, but Joel Bourke's not out of it by no means of the stick.
Oh, he's got bad intentions on that right hand.
Oh, he certainly has. That's Joel Bourke with the red Everlast gloves and Jake Carr in the black gloves as that beautiful left-handers winning the fight so far for Jake Carr. And there's a left hook followed by a hard right hand by Carr as Joel Bourke ties him up. The referee separates them again. Left and right by Joel Bourke. A better round for Joel Bourke. Whether he's winning on the judges' scorecards remains to be seen, but certainly bridged the gap a little bit. But a nice right hand left hook by Jake Carr again.
One of his little tricks there that he would have learned in his
loving little uppercut by Carr. It always had a war written all over it, this fight, as we have some of the heavyweight fights to come a little bit later on tonight. We're in fight number 3 of an 8-fight show here at the Melbourne Convention and Events Centre. I
definitely think that the corner of Jake would be just telling him to keep his distance and not get into that war too much, because Joel's, you know, like you don't need a head cut.
Absolutely.
Round number 5, this fight going to the 6th and final.
And there we have the end of the 5th round, and another good round by Jake Carr. How do you see it at the moment, Julian Holland? On my unofficial scorecards, I see it 50-44 in favour of the blue corner, Jake Carr.
Well, I've got it exactly that. Yeah. He's winning every round comfortably. He's doing everything right. He's stepping off. He's giving himself room. He's creating angles. That first round was that knockdown with that beautiful straight jab. You know, like he's just got to keep going on and get the experience. You know, you're not going to knock a guy like Joel Bourke out, I don't think.
No, not at all.
So you know, this is the perfect round to get your rounds.
Oh, absolutely. And look, you know, the best advice we can give to young Jake Carr at this point in time is, hey, look, let's fight smarter, not harder. We saw what happened to Matthew Litvinenko as the boys touched gloves for the 6th and final round here at the Convention and Exhibition Centre in Melbourne, and what a fabulous afternoon it is.
But you know, he's a Carr. He might be like his old man.
Oh, absolutely. I think they came out of the womb ready to fight, the Carr family, and what a great family they are too. Rod Carr looking anxious in the corner, Steve Stenborg and the former world super featherweight champion, Barry Boy Michael. And boy, what a team they have.
Just beautiful head moving there. Joel was throwing punches and then he was just tick-tock and making him miss.
It's great to see. Great upper body movement by oh, there he and I've slipped off it. I'll just make sure that you stay down there for a minute. Use a little bit more of that energy that you've got. And he hits him with a little uppercut right on the break. But hey, you should know better than that, Joel Bourke. Protect yourself at all times. And the shine's come off this fight just a little bit. I think Jake Carr slowed down a little bit. He just needs to coast home now. He doesn't need to do anything too cute. Another clubbing right hand. He tries to go over the top with the right hand, Jake Carr. But the professor, Joel Bourke, he's equal to the task. And
still trying.
He will try even when the bell's finished. He'd try and knock down the Herald paper, the boy, I reckon, Joel Bourke.
I reckon
try and knock him down for the 10 cents it costs, or the 20 cents for the paper. Well, it's $1 these days, isn't it?
Yeah, Jake's well ahead on points, and he's just got to start enjoying it.
Absolutely, he needs to. And this is the best thing that could actually happen to Jake Carr. He's got 6 good, hard, competitive rounds, and in effect, he's done more in this one fight than he's almost done in his entire 3-fight career. Bring his total to 15 competitive rounds in just 4 fights, and that's what this young guy needs. If he's going to come up to the next level, he needs to get some rounds under his belt. That's Jake Carr in the black shorts with the white band and piping and the black gloves, and the professor Joel Bourke down from Wollongong with the white shorts and the black band and piping with red gloves.
Jake Carr blowing up there because the head's coming together. When Joel's moving forward, he's bringing that head in. And
Joel's trying to come in to get in close to nullify the range.
Intentionally doing it.
No, he's not. But look, from a referee's perspective, if your head is above your feet, in front of your feet, then you're actually in a foul position, you know, and it can be construed as a foul, even though he's not doing it. Look, he fights it hard, but he's not a dirty fighter, Joel Bourke. Right. He fights it hard, and let me tell you, if you're going to fight him, you're going to know it. He tries to back Jake Carr up. Jake Carr hits him with that beautiful left hand. What a great left hand of this young.
Peels off to the left.
Yep. And he's stepping off that front foot. It's nice to see as he plants the right foot. And we're inside 10 seconds of fight number 3 here at the Convention Centre. And they go left and right in this final 10 seconds of the fight. And there we have it.
Great fight.
And another good round as Joel Bourke walks over and congratulates Steve Stenborg and the boys touch gloves. And an enthralling contest, Julian Holland. A contest I anticipated going the distance, but after that first round when Jake Carr had Joel Bourke on the seat of his trunks, who would ever have thought that as what great sportsmanship by Joel Bourke, the professor. As I sort of said, he goes over and congratulates young Jake Carr.
But it was a classic display of boxing, which is, you know, that's what we want to see, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And a great contest, a terrific contest. We've seen the young clash with the old. Yeah. It was a collision of 2 styles, really, when you think about it. But it's great to see the skills of the sport that this young man brings to the ring. Jake Carr with a beautiful left hand, shortening himself up with a little right hand. I think he just needs to take his time. If the only criticism I could have on him, that he was just a little bit impatient. He tried to load up on a number of blows. He just needed to fight smarter, not harder. But look, all you can do is beat the opponent that's in front of you. On my unofficial scorecard, I have 60-53 in favour of Jake Carr, and he can be well proud with his result this afternoon here at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. Let's go up to centre ring to John Demicoli and hear the official decision here in Melbourne.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, we have gone to the judges' scorecards. Our 3 judges scored the contest 60-53, 60-53, and 60-54. Declaring a winner via unanimous points, blue corner, Jake.
Well, there we have it. I must have got lucky, Julian Holland. 60-53 on 2 cards and 60-54 on 1 card, which I would say there that one judge has scored perhaps an even round. I'd say where let's have a listen to young Jake Carr.
You've got a great corner. Shouting instructions here. It's a pretty big stage here today. It's one of the biggest promotions Melbourne's seen for a very, very long time. How's it feel to be on the main card, and how's it feeling to be a winner in centre ring? I can actually see you guys went straight down Pier Street now, taking those dates, Stella's Pizza. I've frequented those places a couple of times in that area, but a great sponsorship team you guys have behind the boys at Melbourne Boxing Gym. I think only onwards and upwards for this young gentleman. 4 fights for 4 wins, 2 by knockout, a 50% knockout rate. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, this local boy,